Hey, what's up, bro? There
Yes,
we go.
sir.
All right. So we were just offline chatting it up. Um, Honestly, kind of deciding what are we going to bring to the people today? All right. What are we going to bring to the people today? And what we kept coming back to is like this idea of specialization versus kind of following our interests as as a health entrepreneur. Right? Do we pursue what's on the mind, what we're really, you know, are interested in, or do you kind of brand yourself with a particular specialization in the hopes that people will know exactly what you do and that they can actually come to you and make a purchase? All right, so that's all. That was kind of what we were talking about off wax. We're gonna bring that conversation on wax here a little bit, and we're gonna dive in and see where it goes. We love your input, whatever thoughts you have, and let's go from there.
Yeah, so I guess a question that I had for you right before we switched over here was, of course, there's different specialties, right? So how do you and of course there's the whole seven mice thing. You can split something up into so many different specialties. You got the psychologist, you got the cardiologist, you got the enterologist. You got all these different specialties. At what point do you just say, okay, I'm just a master of all trades. I just understand the body. I just understand life, so to speak. Because at the end of the day, that's what all these things are pointing to is how do you live better inside of your own body. So I'm just trying to find the balance between that and the balance in that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, and let's not skip over that, man, because I think that's like he just took a huge bite right there, and I don't want us to choke on that because we could do a whole series on the seven blind mice situation. And guys, so let's break that down a little bit before we get going. If you're not familiar with the seven blind mice, obviously, it's a I believe it's a poem that was made into a book. But essentially, it's the seven. It's really the blind men and the elephant, I believe, and then they made it into like the seven blind mice or the three blind mice. I don't know. You can double check me on that, right? But
Interesting.
what I do know is that you've got, for example, you've got, let's say one. Let's call them men for. Well, actually, let's keep it mice. Let's keep it mice. Mice is hanging from a thing, swinging from the tail of an elephant, and the mice says, "What? It's a rope." Right? It's not an elephant, it's a rope. They're trying to figure, obviously, they're blind. So they're trying to figure out what this thing is that they're touching, but they can communicate auditory with each other. So they're hanging and swinging, and the mice is like, it's a rope, right? And then you got the one mice is feeling on the, let's say, the belly of the elephant, right? The belly of the elephant is like, what are you talking about, man? It's a damn wall. That's all it is. It's a little flabby wall. I mean, it's a little solid. It's got some soft skin to it, but it's a wall. And then the third blind mice goes up and like, you guys are all insane. I always knew you were dumb. Listen, he's grabbing on the trunk. Oh, sorry, on the let's say the leg, right? He's feeling all around. He's like, can't be a wall. It's rounded. Definitely not a rope. Blind mice number one is the biggest idiot of them all. It's a tree. That's what it is. It's a tree. It's a tree. Thank you. I'm done. I'm going home. Right. It's over. Right. And then you get the fourth blind mice come by. He's feeling on the trunk, and he's like, "Man, listen, I ain't even gonna bother with these guys. It is very clearly a snake. I'm out of here because I don't even like snakes." Right. so, so he runs, and then you got the next blind mice going, okay, they really think this is a rope, a wall, a tree, a snake? Are you insane? He's feeling on the tusk. He's like, it's a damn spear. We're in danger. Right? It's a spear. Clearly, it's a spear. Right? And then the next one comes out and it goes, man, feeling on the ears, big old flabby ears. He's like, they all ran out of here all extra scared. It's just a fan. It's just a fan. That's all it is. It's a fan. Right?
Yeah.
For me, I think this is the situation with our current understanding of the human body, with our current medical health system, with really our kind of how we live life. We live life kind of segmented. We live life kind of like you have to what? You have to specialize. And then you ask yourself, well, why are we specializing? And it's all really to get a job and make money, right? It's not to have an understanding of what this thing really is. Are we looking at a wall, a rope, a tree, a snake, a spear, a fan? What are we looking at? It's not to actually get a good understanding of that. It's so you can make a sale, right?
It's to make a sale. It's to fit into the societal constructs that are present.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Once we have an understanding that it's an elephant, well, maybe it's best that we divide and conquer. Maybe it's best because we're small and this is a huge problem that, hey, you seek understanding with its spear, right? You speak understanding, but that's with the understanding that it's already an elephant, not trying to figure out what the problem is or not trying to figure out what the thing is. And this is. Let me relate this real quick, and I'm gonna toss this over to you, bro, and you go ahead and elaborate on this. But I'll tell you my experience going through the medical system, right? And this is what led me to what I do now, and why it may be difficult for individuals to be like, how do I spend money with them? And I'll tell you how you're gonna spend money with me in a minute. All right, I'm gonna let you know. Don't worry about that. But I never had any major injuries, but I always had like some little nagging injuries, right? Maybe like some low back pain, right? Let's just run with just that one. But I had a whole bunch of other ones that were just like, it's not a bad thing. I'm fine. I can move. I can run. I can do whatever.
Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
know I'm not 100,000. I'm not like at the top of my peak. Man, I can't tell you. I can't even pronounce the names of all the specialists that I went to go see, right? And it even started from going to a cardiologist, like as to because I was like, wait, what if I'm at track practice, something isn't right, something doesn't feel right. It's like, well, is it your heart? I don't know. Is it your legs? I don't know. Is it your bones? I don't know. Is it your muscles? I don't know. Is it your nerves? I don't know. Is it blah, blah, blah. And all of them that I went to literally spoke totally different languages. One was speaking in freaking Greek. The other was speaking in Latin. The other wasn't even speaking at all. They're out here like sending click clack signals across the wire. And guess what?
Hmm.
None of them solved the problem, right? Two people solved the problem. It was a really, really, really good massage therapist specializing in trigger point therapy, right? And then it was a really good trainer, physical therapist, not really a physical therapist, but a trainer that basically was a physical therapist that like really walked me through how to actually solve the issue, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And guess what? They weren't making the same amount of money as like the Irish the osteopath doctor that I saw, right? And this dude looked at me for 30 seconds, had no freaking idea, and prescribed me all types of nonsense to go do that did nothing but put me in debt. Okay. So when I saw that, I was like, whoa, what's the good of all of these specializations? See, these specializations, in my opinion, came about and are going to continue to come about as we continue to live a lifestyle that leads to us having more illness, more dis-ease that we shouldn't even have in the first place if we were following the fundamentals of a lifestyle that makes sense, right? So so you've got the next person coming out and they're studying the next rarest form of cancer without addressing the basic fundamentals of, okay, how do we not get a cell to multiply uncontrollably by itself? Why don't we just address that in the first place when Dr. Max Gerson has told us we could address that with nutrition? Right. So then when I think about that, I'm like, well, sure, fine. If you want to put me in a box and say, hey, listen, this is what Kobi does, right? This is what Coach does, and I'm gonna spend money with him. Guess what? You can spend money with me as as a trainer. You can spend money with me as a coach. You can spend money with me as a massage therapist. You can spend, but that understanding of all of those disciplines allows me to understand the body on a totally different level, and that's really the journey I'm on, right? And that's why I look at this situation. I'm like, yeah, fine. I'm nutrition guy. I believe the first step for everybody is to at least try, if you haven't tried at all, right? At least try, right? A solid food vacation juice piece to restore your gut, because I know not everybody's going to work out, but everybody's going to eat. Not everybody's going to do a whole lot of different things, but they sure going to eat,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
if I can tell you, if I can show you how to do that well and how to do that better, well, that puts you in a better position where you have more energy, right? You have more time, you have more freedom, you're more at ease, and you're going to pursue some of these other principles that elevate you in your life, right? So that's where I'm coming from with that. And I think, yeah, I like you to speak a little bit to it. Like, that makes it difficult for consumerism
I was
sometimes.
just, well, so I was going to speak about how it's not only the societal structures in place, it's not only the fact that this cardiologist is getting paid six figures, whereas this PT like trainer that actually solved your issue is getting paid chump change. It's not only that, it's, I want to put some responsibility in the buyer's hand, in the
Mm,
consumer's hand. I need them to wake the fuck up and understand that it's not just about the credentials. It's not just about, oh, he went to school for 10 years studying this one specific thing, so he's better suited than this other dude who just has some certification. He doesn't like, he seems like he gets good results, but that's not enough for me. Like, I need the piece of paper. I need the salary. I need this kind of office. Like, I need all these things, but at the end of the day, they're all superficial things that people are looking for in getting people to help them with their problems. And what it all comes down to is internal awareness. You have to understand from the perspective of the elephant, not from the perspective of each of the individual seven blind mice. You yourself, as the consumer, you have to understand that we're not looking at just the tail, we're not looking at just the tusk, we're not looking at just the belly. We're looking at the whole entire human body. And once you understand that it's an entire being, not even just the body physically, but also the mental aspects, also the emotional aspects, also these different aspects of internal sensations within yourself that you can bring your awareness to. Once you understand that it's a continuum and it's not just these segmented disciplines, cardiology, enterology, whatever other specialists there are, it's not so fragmented. It's one big picture. And once you take your health regimen in that way, once you realize that, first of all, you are the specialist, you are the specialist who understands the most because you have the complete picture of your entire body. You can sense your heartbeat. You can sense your breath. You can sense and feel your hydration levels. You can sense and feel what vitamins, what minerals, what nutrients in general that your body needs. These are things that we have the ability to intuitively tap into, but because we're so far removed in terms of bringing awareness to our internal state, we don't have this ability. And that's what
mm,
people like Kobi and I are here for. That's what we do through our programs, is help you bring that awareness back inside. Kobi right now is doing that through nutrition. I am doing that right now through movement. But at the end of the day, we're teaching you the same exact thing. We just take it from different avenues. I'm teaching you how to hold your body. I'm teaching you how to position yourself so that you can be aligned with the natural forces of the universe, so that your body can operate how it was naturally designed to. Because if the geometry is off, the organs that sit within that structure is also going to be off. The function of those organs is also going to be off. So that's what I do. That's what I do in terms of movement coaching. It doesn't just have to apply to running, jumping, sprinting, lifting. It applies to how you hold your body on a day-to-day basis, because just like nutrition, how you hold your body will affect how much of ease you're in at any one given time. It'll affect the inflammation levels in your body. It'll affect your thought processes. It'll affect the way that you feel emotions. It'll affect just how you feel and experience life at the end of the day. And that's what it all comes down to. These other specialists, they don't give a fuck about how you experience life. They just care about that one very specific, particular aspect of your life without taking into account the whole big picture.
Yeah. And they may, you know, we're not here to bash anybody. We're just here to point out the differences, right? Well, but they may care. But the system as is designed right now pushes, right? It pushes people into a particular mold, right? It pushes people into a particular mold. And if you're not in, you know, if you've got a decision to make, right? Do you want to pursue truth, or do you want to make a living doing this? Right? And you know, I think eventually you can do both, but there is a cost associated with seeking to pursue truth right off the, you know, as the first and foremost thing to do, because that doesn't put you necessarily in the system as designed. And it might not lead you down medical school, right? It might not lead you down chiropractic school. It might not lead you down whatever. It might lead you down into studying with the local expert for 7 years in Tanzania. I don't know. I don't know. It might lead you down that road, right? But that road is not laid with dollars, right? It's not. You get that and you're ready to go. But one key thing that you said that I want to highlight here as we bring this to a close, and guys, we will be here every Tuesday, right? We're committed to come in here to chat with you about matters of health, matters of life, things that we believe really makes the difference, right? The 20% of things that you need to focus on to get 80% of the results in life, right? And that's all across the board. You know, you'll see me on here talking about all types of different things. But the key thing that you mentioned, I want to highlight, is that you're not the one touching the rope, that tail of the elephant. You're not the one touching the belly of the elephant thinking it's a wall. You're not the one touching the leg thinking it's a tree. You're not the one touching the trunk thinking it's a snake. You're not the one touching the tusk thinking it's a spear. You're not the one touching the ear thinking it's a fan. You are the elephant. You are the elephant. So you have to have an understanding of all of those aspects, and you have to have an understanding of what each one of those individuals are saying, because what the system is not designed to do is for each one of those individuals to communicate with each other or even have an understanding of what the other is freaking talking about. They're all blind. They're blind mice, right? So you, the elephant, you can't maybe feel your own tail. Maybe you can't feel your own leg, but as you're getting the information from the guy on the tail, you're getting the information from the guy on the tusk, you've got to have a certain understanding of how this all comes together, right? That's why we always attribute that you build a board of advisors, but you have to be the quarterback. You have to be the quarterback of that board, right? And then you hire a coach. You understand? That's where we come into play, right? So you're the quarterback, you running that, but you on the field. You're on the field. You are the elephant. You're on the field. We are the coaches on the sideline that's seeing the whole thing, that's saying, hey, listen, I don't know how to play quarterback, or I know how to here, but I'm not playing quarterback. I'm not playing running back. I'm not playing all these stuff. I'm not about to do all this stuff on you, but I know how to put everything together and orchestrate it.
I like that. I like that.
That's it, you
Yes,
know.
sir.
And
Yes,
so,
sir.
like we got 5 minutes here, man. We're gonna pay attention to time here. My brother, let's use these 5 minutes, touch. What's your current offering then? How does one tap in with this? If they say, listen, I mess with this guy, sounds great, I appreciate it, but how can you help me?
Yes,
They're like,
sir.
what? How do I spend money with you? How do I actually tap in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How do you tap in? So, what we got going on right now is a program that will take you from the numbed out state that the typical athletic industry, the typical fitness industry will have you in, kind of ignoring your pain, ignoring all of your emotional well-being, will throw that to the side, will boost your awareness in three different aspects. So, I actually talked about this today in one of the live Zoom calls that we have each week. There's three different aspects of body awareness: proprioception, kinesthetic awareness, and interoception. All of them have to do with sensing the internal sensations of your body, and boosting the awareness through those different aspects will not only make you a better mover, a better athlete, but it will also help you be more tapped in as an individual. It will also help you regulate your emotions better. It will help you find more clarity of thought. It will help you just be more whole as a person. And as we always talk about, experience life in a richer manner. And so that's really what the program is all about. So we have a workout program, yeah, but really the big value piece is having those conversations, having those different those experiences shared in these group chats that we have, that really just push you to think about your movement, think about how that fits into the whole big picture of life in a different way.
1,000, 1,000. That's it. So it's a 12-week program. My understanding.
Yes, sir. 12-week program from beginning to end. We got a different transition of stability elements, strength elements, all the way up to more and more specific, more and more intense movements. And really, the whole idea, as I talked about today, is bringing you from a state where you're able to carry that meditative side of things, those meditative principles, carrying those from the least complex of movements. So just being able to sit there, focusing on your breath, focusing on the tension throughout your body, focusing on what your heartbeat is telling you, focusing on different sensations that your autonomic nervous system will signal to you. Learning how to sense those things in a sitting environment with no distractions, and layering that up to, okay, now let me learn how to do that balancing on one leg. Let me learn how to tap into my breath. Let me learn how to tap in to these other sensations in my body. Okay, I can do that on one leg. Let me now do that while I'm lifting in my normal lifting routine, whether that be squats, whether that be deadlifts. You scale that up into power cleans, and you're essentially just building more and more overall body comprehension. And that's what it all comes down to, is through these different key principles of awareness, you're building more comprehension of your body, becoming a better mover and becoming a better human.
Mm. See, we could leave out all the conscious shit. We could leave out all the becoming a better human and just give you a program that's gonna make you ripped, right? We could do all that and get you a sale, but see, there's no sauce, there's no foundation behind that. Okay, that's why we're giving you more, my friends,
Yeah,
more,
we're
right?
giving you a lot more than the average. I mean, if I want to be very like general about what will happen in this 12-week program, yes, you're gonna improve your performance. You're probably gonna run faster afterwards. You're probably gonna jump higher
Ain't no
afterwards.
probably. Come on, dog. You selling them short. Ain't no probably. I've been through this.
I say probably just because again, like that's
Nah, he hedging himself. You will. Ain't no
you will
probably.
you will jump higher, you will run faster, you will be able to use your body better to lift more weight. But those are all superficial goals. If you want
1,000.
those, Sure, yeah, I'll give those to you. I'll hand those on a platter to you if you carry out the 12 weeks. But
No
what's going to
problem.
come as a result that's deeper, that's what you really want. That's what you don't know you want yet.
Tap in. Tap in. We'll be
Tap
back
in.
next Tuesday, exact same time, 6:30 Pacific. What's that? 9:30?
9:30 Eastern.
9:30 Eastern, and we're tapping in. And guess what? We're gonna give you the same goods. All right. Don't miss it. We'll be back next week. All right, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, bro. Shout out
Take
Jay Nardi, Tapped In Kings.
Yeah.
Takes one to know one, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, wait, now I gotta correct that real quick. That's the Ghanaian brother, Jeremy Nate.
Nate. Got you.
Yes, sir. Hey, Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong, dog. We'll see you soon. All right, my guy. Peace.
All right, y'all.
All right. Peace.